Welcome to the Turns Out podcast. I am your host, Julian Camacho, a.k.a. Jules. And with me is just
one of the smartest people I know. And one of the funniest people I know, Michael Braverman.
Hello.
Also, he's the biggest brother I've ever had. And no, he's not, actually. The Christian is this giganto.
Yes.
You know what you are? You're a bear. Evan's a bull. Evan Leroy. Christian is a rhino. And Joe's a wallaby.
This is like a series of Ninja Turtle villains. I like this.
It's the in my mind I have a world where all my friends have. Oh, did you hear that? Sorry.
Oh no.
Oh, cool. Well, I've always had this dream, or like I've always had this cool idea that maybe in a cartoon world we'd all be animals, like the talking kind that walk on hind legs.
Sure.
Bipedal animals, and we still could drive cars and stuff, but it was all made of and we wore clothes, but it was still made weirder and but cuter and it was. See, I'm a wolf, but Diego's a fox.
That's accurate.
And I made you a polar bear because because you're just so fair skinned.
It's really tough for me with the bears because I'm see-through, so that's a polar bear. But isn't there one of those bears that's really timid that's being hunted by other bears because it's too nice? I'm sort of like that bear too.
That's exactly what you are. But then just when the hunters or the I don't know. I was gonna say a pack of wolves, but that wouldn't work to my what's coming next. Anyway, you have some sort of threat happening, and just before it'd be like, and then fucking we start landing, and it's me, it's Diego, it's Christian, and it's Sam. Sam's a panther, by the way.
Of course he is. He's a Black Panther.
Yes.
Just to clarify.
I can't wait to get Sam on the show. But yeah, dude, it's I'm trying to think of any Avner, whatever. I haven't pinned him down yet, but whatever it is, it's reptilian.
It's a silly. Oh, it could be reptilian,
no,
but it could also be one of those cross-eyed goats that he likes so much.
He's too. I mean, it could be a goat, but he's he could maybe play. Yeah, actually, a goat makes sense, or a llama.
Yeah,
I was gonna think llama.
A funny-looking animal that falls down a mountain.
But it's so wise and
That's
quick,
right. And steadfast
and strategery.
That's right, tourism.
It's so funny. But I wanted to complain to you specifically because I knew you'd appreciate this. Probably one of the most awful / triumphant experiences of my life, because it was all the stakes. The stakes were at the highest. It was over internet service. Because I received what happened. It all started. I mean, really, this is the and I'm gonna add an intro to this in post probably, but it's gonna be something like, Julian versus Comcast. But
yeah, you really like that stupid echo. But please continue.
Yeah, it is stupid. And I received a bill of $19, and I'm like, what? This is unheard ofly low priced, because usually I pay fucking $52.
At least, yeah.
I pay $52, something like that, and it used to be $40, and then it got to No, I'm sorry. It started off with 19 when I first started for this first 6 months. It was promotion, like all right, whatever. Then it went up to like 38 or something, 38.75, something cute. And then I'm like, all right, whatever, sure, makes sense. I guess the fun's over. But then it slowly, it slowly but surely got like more and more ridiculous. And now it's $52, and I'm like, God damn it! But whatever. You got to pay the piper. I got pretty fast internet, and I definitely have to take advantage of it. But
Sure.
yeah, no, it's fine. But then I got the last bill for $19 again, and I'm like, what? Nice, finally, they're treating their customers right. They recognize.
No, they're not.
And then my internet gets cut off.
Yeah.
And then I called and I'm like, what the hell, guys? Everything's connected, right? Did you try? So the first guy, bless his soul, he thought, we first attacked it as if it was a software or a hardware problem. So we disconnected everything, reconnected it incrementally, and turned on and off the computer several times and whatever. And after figuring out, and then like I was actually willing to like take the TV that I have in the office into my bedroom, where like it's a center hub for all the networking, all the internet cables.
Yeah, it's your technodrome.
It's the mainframe. It all leads into my.
We're gonna hack the Gibson. All right, please
we have
continue.
to override the mainframe, and so what we had to do was create this Trojan backdoor wormhole, and
Nice.
we were able to hack the matrix, all three of them. And yes. No, the thing about my wiring is that it's also my television cable, which is like this. It has all the options of like an HD, whatever, on demand, whatever. I don't have on demand, nor do I have HD. So it's really sad. But I still have the thing I never wanted to convert was because I knew that once I did, there'd be this huge delay between channel changing. And
Yes, that's true.
a lot of my powers
Yeah.
come from my ability to change. I have this remarkable skill to know when the commercials are done on whatever show I'm watching. So I can sometimes like watch a show and a half by timing it well. But it's it took some time to develop that muscle. But anyway, so back to against Comcast. After I go through the first guy, I get transferred to this lady, this super incompetent, super southern lady, who was like, "All right, I just had to turn it off." Listen, I just did this to everybody. The reason why I'm calling back is because I'm obviously there's something in my billing issue, and something got screwed up on Comcast's end, and can you guys turn back my internet, the one that I just paid for? And so she was basically still trying to handle it as a hardware issue. So it's just like, listen, we gotta go through the procedure, and it's just like, oh no.
Oh my god.
She's taking like 2 Mississippis to say like bisyllable words, and it's really, really frustrating just on a language level. And it got, and it's not like oh, it's because she's southern. It's because she was an idiot. and idiot comes in all flavors. There's the tacky Jersey idiot. Yeah, whatever. Just go ahead and disconnect it again or whatever. Just there's idiots in all flavors. But southern for me is particularly painful because I had to deal with it in Tallahassee. And it was a great town. I love it. I love FSU. Don't get me wrong, but I can never live there. I can never live in Tallahassee, and it's mainly the locals, and not the fact that it's actually majority black. Anyway, back to Comcast.
Let's not get into that now, Julian. We're talking about Comcast.
I love Frenchtown. That's all I'm going to say. I had a good time there. People talk smack. But anyway, So eventually, I got transferred to a billing person. And said, "Look, you're not authorized to change this because it's under my dad's name, but I've been the one paying the bill for the past 3 years. Like,
Come
look
on.
at the checks. It's Julian. Come on, I've been paying for the past 3. I'm sorry, but the only reason we can access it, So I'm like, I can't. My dad. I'm not going to bother my dad so that he can do something that's only going to benefit me. You know what I mean? And it's like, and he doesn't. All right, fine.
And Reshford, you're too honest, Julian. You should have just said, "I'm Jaime Camacho.
I'm
I'm the man."
This is the best part. I go,
Oh,
I
oh,
you spoiled it. I
Shit.
actually ended up I was asked, like, I don't know. I kind of got into it with her first, and I'm like, all right, look, okay, if somebody was deaf but they still wanted to watch it and had someone interpreting for them, how would you would you verify them? And it's like, sir, we had a blind person install, okay, because that is not the same, because it was over the phone and their voice is available, and it was just, oh my god. Eventually, I go, you know what? I'm going to call back as my dad. And you guys aren't going to do anything because you guys don't verify a goddamn thing.
But then she typed into her notes, said he would call back as his father.
I called back as my father in Spanish.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
And I called to the Spanish section. And they totally authorized me to be fucking the guy.
Dude, that's brilliant for so many ways. Besides the fact that you got transferred to a different person anyway, even if she had written that note, the Spanish guy wouldn't have understood the note she wrote.
It was a lovely lady named Rosie, and she was able to, unfortunately, even though I was able to authorize myself, which is great. At the end of, I called, "Hello, Jaime Camacho. Ustedes no me dijeron que el hijo pudiera hacer cualquier lo que quiera," and it was just like this great little back and forth. For a little bit, she thought it might have been me, but even if she knew, I still got authorized. So it's like,
man.
At the very worst, they were impressed by my efforts.
Wait, I don't know. You were authorized and also added to the CIA watch list of expert impersonators.
Yeah, right. They match the peaks.
Dude, you and Bill Hader are in so much trouble with the government right now. You have no idea.
To this day, Bill Hader's Daniel Day-Lewis impression is still my favorite.
It's glorious.
It's so good. It's so accurate. It makes me so jealous. It's one of those things where it's like, God damn it. I wish I had that.
I know.
Somewhere that range. Oh, it's so
I want to make an unverified claim now. The week after that movie came out, my impression was better than Bill Hader's, but I can no longer replicate it, so it can't be tested. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, viewers.
Yeah, no. Great. You just open up the floodgates for...
so much hate mails coming my way.
Ones of hate mails. So many ones. Two, maybe.
But rest assured, you boys are a regular family business.
Yeah.
And you boys are a little late.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get back to it.
And so, in Spanish, I was able to set up a... Oh, no, that's what happened. I tried to arrange someone to come over and check my shit. And that exposes me to a $40 fine minimum. Because coming out there, apparently, whatever, and it's up to the person to decide whether to charge me. Of course, they're going to decide to charge me.
Yeah,
it's just the fucking stupidest thing in the world. It's up to them. They say us everything, and they say what, and then if they have to get new hardware, whatever, then there's going to be a charge.
Yeah, they have a charge for everything, even when it's to correct their mistake. They charged me an extra $10 one month, and I called them, and they said, "Oh, we're sorry. We started charging you for 2 DVRs, even though you've only had one for your entire time here. That will be a $2 fee to correct that."
I actually have right here the latest bill. But
$1.99 change of service fee.
But either way, I was able to get to billing and talked over to this lovely lady named Claire. Her name was Claire, and I said, "You know what?
Of course,
I know someone named Claire." She said, "Yeah," and like either way, back to the business. And then she ended up helping me with she gave me a boost or whatever. And then my internet started working again. And it's like, yeah, it was just she chalked it up to it might be a mistake on Billing's end, but obviously there's no one to account to prove otherwise, and it's not like Comcast is ever going to say, sorry, we screwed up. But either way, she helped me and got my internet back. So I called back, and I wanted to before she was able to get my internet back on, we were trying to work on getting this appointment for this guy to come out here and fucking possibly charge the shit out of me. And I wanted to set up that appointment, and it said I had to be authorized, and then that's when I did the whole switcheroo on them. But once I had it, canceling it was an issue. So I ended up just calling back and doing it digitally through the phone, which they give you that option. So it's funny, they wouldn't let me do it through the phone caller, but I was able to do it mechanically, essentially through you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dialing the right numbers in the menu to
The
cancel
machines, the machines have our best interest in mind. I
It's
think that
interesting.
proves this.
It's their cold heart that allows them to stay impartial and see logically what needs to happen.
Exactly.
It's so great. Terminator. I can't wait for Terminator Matrix iRobot to happen. It's gonna be great.
What is this thing you're saying?
They're gonna force everybody to be fair. That's essentially what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be great. And could you imagine, like, robots don't have to stay like skinless. All robots can have, like, they could be giant like teddy bears, but they have like robots inside. You know what I mean? So you
I don't like that.
So you
I
can
don't
hug
know.
them. You can hug the giant teddy bears that also help you to calculate any kind of astrophysical equation they have to do to avoid the meteor from destroying us. The whole point of creating robots is to help to stop the apocalypse. I believe that.
Well, this could make a lot of that's true. This can make a lot of office jobs really fun because it can change how you give input to the robots. So instead of a keyboard, there's different types of hugs you could give it for it to answer you in different ways.
Proverbial or otherwise, dude. I mean, I
Yeah,
laugh.
you can give it a little.
But hey, there's heft to that. Now, and it's interesting because, of course, there's that Dune scenario where then some people are going to take those teddy bears and strap on nuclear weapons and make them horrible for everybody. But that's I don't think that's as likely because just like no one's nuclear bombing us since the 50s.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I do know about that. Yes.
People understand. People got scared. Dad cracked the belt and then never went there anymore. I feel like everybody understands that any strike can lead to whatever, and so it's kind of an equalizer. And it sounds effed up, but it's until some kind of black hole creating device.
Oh shit.
I don't. I think it's going to be pretty evened out. That's why I'm never as scared of like North Korea or any other potentially dangerous country, really, because I always have that in mind. Unless there's that one crazy person but the person has to be crazy enough to get to the top. The ego that would require a fascist to get to there have to be close enough to nuclear button would make them want to survive as long as they can, and so they would never go that far.
That's probably true, but one day
just really,
it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be really bad.
I really, geez, I like to think we have countermeasures and people at the spearhead that we don't even know about. And they're out there protecting us.
That's right. It's a thankless job.
It really is, dude. There's so many Jack Bauers out there, or at least what Jack Bauer represents, that we don't know about. And wherever they are, I want to thank them because they really are. I mean, how can there not be a bunch of things that we never heard about being stopped? I mean, like just if it's
Exactly.
even like there are attacks here at home and no one is and any kind of war going on is in their heads. The one over there is actually kind of real. It's not kind of real. It's absolutely real. So that kind of reaction makes I almost can't take it personally, because it's just that's the two institutions that are built and whatever, and that's the reaction that they're gonna naturally have. So it's impossible that we don't have these countermeasures constantly working.
Absolutely. If they do their job right, we won't be aware they did anything at all.
It's the cracks and stuff that we hear about, really. But there's probably so much shit prevented just because you stop this one kid from running down the block to warn whatever that leads to it's a huge snowball effect. Just like it's a snowball effect to attack, it can be a big snowball effect to prevent. And of course, it's impossible to say because hindsight is 20/20, and there's no way to completely explore all the angles just because of how they're constructed, right? I mean, they're all in cells.
That's true.
So it's tough to properly assess anything. Yeah, it's tough, man.
It's like electrons. You shine a light on them, and then they're doing something else than they were before.
Yes, exactly. What's that principle where observing something changes it?
I'll tell you. It's the Heisenberg uncertainty principle.
Thank you, Heisenberg.
You can edit in some like cash register sounds or some cheering right there.
I like the cheering idea. Definitely. No, yeah, it's crazy how uncertain that whole thing is, and it's to me, definitely the scariest kind of warfare, but not as scary as warfare against Comcast. Because they're monopolizing slowly but surely. No one believes me, or at least they agree, and they do nothing. There's nothing we can do because I love my internets, but it's just cruel because I got the bill today, and it's for it says $55. No, wait. Plus the boost they gave me. Turns out they charged me for it.
They charged you for the free boost?
Turns out they charged me for it.
Oh, what a trick.
$66.45.
It's like when you're at a fancy restaurant, you order steak, and you're like, oh, would you also like mushrooms? Do the mushrooms cost more money? And the answer is always yes.
Yes, they do. You know what? I don't need the mushrooms. But you know what? This steak, it's a little undercooked, as in, it's still saying moo. Could you just give it one more fry? Oh, yes, sure. Here, we bring you a whole new steak, nice and cooked the way you like it. I didn't ask for a new steak. You could have just cooked that one. A whole new steak, that'll be double the money. Double the money? But I didn't want the new steak. Just take the steak, the one that I already paid for, and just finish making it. But sir, don't you know, this is Comcast. And then it starts to rain knives. And I'm like, what's happening? Comcast, you're supposed to be helping me.
I just want to comment that my favorite thing about this scenario is that this waiter is obviously the human basis for hedonism bot. You can see how his voice will eventually morph into, the butter pit.
This is the part where it opens its mouth so wide past its head, like in Bill and Ted, Bogus Adventures,
sure.
the second one. With
the one where they robot copies.
With the robot copies. Right. The one thing that really stuck out, because I saw it when I was really young, what really stuck out on me was when the robots would peel open their faces by opening their mouths past their robot skulls.
That was amazing.
And I thought that was really awesome art concept. And so like now, whenever there's like a robot inside somebody, that's how I imagine them opening up for the reveal. And so... turns out I'm a robot. And then their voice would also change for some reason. I don't understand why the vocal, I guess once you remove like the neck part of the mask, maybe that's what the vocal cords are. Like, why does it every time a robot reveals itself to be a robot, it ends up, the robot voice comes out upon the reveal? I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know either.
So I suspect that's what the people at Comcast are. Turns out they're already the evil robots, the ones that we fear. But I like to believe not. I like to believe the robots will help us weed out the bad guys, the bad humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the robots will probably have extremely high standards, and
they
none
won't.
of us are perfect. We'll all end up
They'll
dead.
be what the majority of the voters will agree on, and it'll be stuff like corruption and rape and murder and anything against children.
Julian, robots have no mercy. They won't stop until you're dead. Okay?
Not to kill, buddy. You're thinking you're thinking two pencil mustache. I'm thinking more like, they ran them up in like prisons. No, prisons and
of course prisons.
Yeah, no.
That's what you're gonna say.
And then we go through an investigation process, but we take them out of the field, at the very least. I mean, it's crazy. I mean. Not to get into it too much, but like the whole Sandusky thing, it might lead to like a ring. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Yeah, dude. Like I thought like the media kind of died down about the Sandusky thing, and then recently I found that like it's because he's not the only one. Is what it is, and it's horrifying because It's like if it was in a book or a movie, it's like, no, this is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. No one would buy it. No, come on. This wouldn't. But fucking dude, it makes sense, but the concept is just, it's been getting away for years, dude. Ugh. Anyway. So I thought I won by winning internet, but Comcast won in the end by charging me up the ass. I'm gonna call them tomorrow for round 2. Well, really round like 45.
Of course. Your entire life is.
If I were to count every phone call and person change and transfer to, it would be ridiculous.
But you know what the best part is?
Mm-hmm.
And I this is a huge consolation. When I told my dad everything, he said, "Son, I'm proud of you." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm proud of you because the whole system's screwed up, and
Sure.
there's people who just take it and don't do anything about it, and there's people who work the system. So, good for you, son."
Exactly.
He actually said it. So, not all is lost.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
And you know what? Look, I'm not saying just be a rebel for the sake of. I'm not saying, go scam Comcast. No. What I'm saying is, if the system doesn't work, whatever it may be, whether it's a corporation, a government, a religion, whatever it is, if it doesn't work, it needs to change. It needs to be tweaked. Again, I'm not saying you got to fight this uphill battle and dismantle the establishment. No. What I'm saying is tweak it. Make it work for you. Because change doesn't happen overnight. It's little by little. So just get things started. And again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just make it stop running over your proverbial toe.
But, dude, I wanted to also talk to you about the goddamn Prometheus trailer. Tell me you saw the Prometheus
Julian,
trailer.
I didn't watch it.
You haven't seen it yet?
We can stop here. I can watch it, and we can keep recording after
Well,
that.
actually, this is actually a pretty good time for a halftime because we're at the half-hour mark, and people have been telling me that, they should at least give them a break. So, we're going to take a little break, and we are going to watch a Prometheus trailer. And if you haven't done so yet, get on it.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Turns Out podcast. I am your host, Julian Camacho, a.k.a. Jules, and with me is Mike, the polar bear Braverman.
Hello.
I love that you live up to your name every single damn time. But, all right, so first impressions of the Prometheus trailer. What do you say?
That was so epic. That was amazing. It's been so long since there's been a real big-scale epic sci-fi movie, and I am very excited.
That's pretty much been the notion across the board. I'm just so impressed with all the things that are usually reduced to kind of hackneyed and cliche. Just things like, someone screaming before they die. Or
Sure.
just like someone looking behind them because they're scared or suspicious of a sound they might have heard. Little things like that. That's when it's mundane and it's been done, but then you see like high scale, high caliber actors do those little tropes, but in their own way. And it's just like mind-blowingly awesome. I mean, I'm excited about this just on so many facets and so many levels. First and foremost, of course, like you said, it's the goddamn. This could be the sci-fi revival. You know what I mean? I mean, this with Inception and just other just high level, high scale and high, high class sci-fis, and there's so many instantly dated shit that comes out that just, it's just filler, and it sucks because it
Absolutely.
demeans the genre. But anyway, but on another level, like I was tapping to earlier, is the acting that comes out of the.
My God, this is an AAA plus list cast. I cannot believe this cast they got.
Seeing Idris Elba yell like that, I'm just like, this movie is this movie's gonna make a huge impact, I think, in the course of things. And it's such a crime that Ridley Scott doesn't have an Oscar yet. It's a huge crime.
I didn't realize he didn't have one.
He does not have an Oscar for Best
What
Director.
does this man have to do? Have you guys seen Kingdom of Heaven Director's Cut?
Have you not
My
seen?
God. It's as good as Blade Runner.
Have they not seen
right.
Have they not seen Duelists with Harvey Keitel and Keith Carradine?
No, no one's seen that.
Well, that movie, every frame is a fucking painting, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Every single frame in that movie can be a painting on any like Sultan's wall. We stole it in the Crusades. I don't know why he's German, but I don't know why I made him German.
It happens.
We must praise Allah. Women shall stay in veils. Whatever. I love that they made Bane in The Dark Knight Rises. I love that they made him German or vaguely Eastern European. So it's like, no one can understand what he's saying, but it's just like,
What was the logic behind that? Because I thought he was Hispanic in the original comics.
well, in the original comics, they also made him have this venom that made him, 9 feet tall. So obviously,
Exactly.
Same thing with the Joker. He had perma white skin, and he had, naturally green and hair and red lips, and
Sure.
Two-Face had split personality. What I love about these Nolan films is that they shave off, a lot of the elements that just wouldn't work on screen. And Nolan understands that certain things wouldn't work, and some things are classic and should never be changed. And he's brought it back. And there's an honest Batman franchise, and it's just these films are so important because they basically pave the way for quality, not just comic book films or superhero films, but genre films, and they're being taken seriously on a writers and actors note, which is what gets recognized. What's theoretically recognized at the Oscars and the Academy. In anything strong, acting and strong writing, and a lot of times, it'll go in trends because before it was the Ben-Hur and those
The Ten Commandments and other those old historical
Titanic,
epic films.
right? Those
That's
are the
right.
ones.
Titanic was that style too. Yeah.
All those films were winning, but now it's the quiet kind of family or dramas or it's that's kind of what's getting. I mean, obviously, actually a lot more political films. Now I think about it, because then you have Hurt Locker, you have there's a lot of nominations like Munich and stuff. But anyway, Hurt Locker was small compared to Avatar, and Avatar was also nominated that year. And I feel like if it was in a different decade, that would have won automatically. Obviously, because it would have been out of this world. But I meant like in proportion too. If it was scaled down to those times and impressive it would have won just for spectacle.
Right.
That would have been enough. That would have been, but now they're trying to, I don't know, they're trying to be, I feel like they're 5 years late in being alternative. So now it's just kind of annoying. I would have appreciated back in the Charlie Kaufman days in the early 2000s when a lot of just amazing stuff that, the fact that Shakespeare in Love won over Saving Private Ryan should tell you everything.
My God.
It's just like, are you serious? Are you fucking kidding me? I don't know. When I saw that, it was one of the few times in my life where I nearly kicked the screen, just out of sheer, caveman anger. That's it, to the bone. It upset me. Just like Just like Adrian Brody beating Daniel Day-Lewis for Gangs of New York versus the pianist.
Pianist.
The pianist. The penis. No, it was a great movie. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't being compared. I don't think they compared punch for punch. Acting chops versus acting chops. I think they did it all in context. Well, this film probably deserves more, but we'll give it for that. You know what I mean? Like it felt like.
Daniel Day-Lewis, he doesn't act, he exudes, he takes on the form of whatever character he is, like the Thing, like the monster from the Thing, and you never know who he really is.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
No, it's exactly. He's so immediately present, and yet he's also elusive in the fact that it's like one of those performances where it's so good, you can't even connect to it, but that's okay. He's just a better human.
He is a searing, divine laser beam of presence.
It's ridiculous. I mean, people talk like Brando and stuff, but I think Daniel Day-Lewis had way more presence and has way more presence. And it's just he definitely gets enough accolades and definitely he's celebrated, but I don't think it's enough. He's just so goddamn good.
Well, we get spoiled. I mean, you're right. Marlon Brando is probably not as good as Daniel Day-Lewis, but of course, Daniel Day-Lewis couldn't exist without Marlon Brando.
He was the pioneer, and so he gets immediate respect no matter what. Absolutely.
Yeah. But now Daniel Day-Lewis doesn't stand... I mean, he does stand out a lot, but still, there's other actors who are great now, too.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. And what I was going to say is him, Robert Downey Jr., what I was going to say about actors like that is that they go where most actors pretend to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like they you see it in their eyes, you see it in like their twitches, their movement, everything is just they embodied this role, and it's not a matter at that point. It's not a matter of quality. It's a matter of just how truthful everything is, no matter how exaggerated it may be, too. Like things can be extremely theatrical, but it'll never not ring true. And it's just, it's such a combination of athletic coordination and self-awareness, but courage and just, it's ridiculous. It's an that's when it becomes a craft, when it's done like that, and that's when, that's like in the noble times where that's the kind of acting that deserves knighthood, versus, a lot of other undeserving parties, which I can't even come up with at the time. I'm just so in my head. Just Sir Ian McKellen, Sir Patrick. I'm just thinking of. I'm just thinking of all the badass ones.
Everyone from X-Men, all the British actors from X-Men.
Yeah. I was gonna say Sir Brian Cox, even though I'm pretty sure he's not knighted. I'm just gonna knight him right now. Sir Brendan Gleeson. I feel like.
Brilliant.
I feel like Christian Bale is one Batman movie away from knighthood.
I don't know. I think Christian Bale. I don't want to offend Christian Bale. I know he yells a lot, but I think Batman is by far his weakest work.
He probably doesn't yell a lot. I'm thinking. Well, Batman is also Bruce Wayne, and the fact that he can play both types of characters, I think that makes him one of his strongest performances. People tend to kind of oversee that. I love his performances as Bruce Wayne.
I think his Bruce Wayne is a lot better than his Batman. Actually, I wish there was more Bruce Wayne.
I think there's I thought Batman Begins, I thought it was perfect. Even as Batman, even though I do personally find it to be its one flaw, is the exaggerated Batman voice. I thought that at least in Batman Begins, it had more variety to it. Like when he was in the cave, he was kind of doing his just normal Christian Bale, but like toned down voice, like narration voice almost. Like it's in the Narrows. He would just say it. He wouldn't be like, it's in the Narrows.
My gosh, it's at.
Do I look like a cop? Where are the other drugs? Yeah, no, it's great. But see, in Batman Begins, it was more in context. So it would make sense for intimidation purposes. It's also what some people don't really think about is that it's also meant for it's also meant for disguising your voice for detectors.
Of course. I mean,
You know, it's
why does Superman just get to put on glasses and look different? He should be wearing a mask. Similarly, Batman, if he just uses Bruce Wayne voice, he's like the most popular billionaire in Gotham City.
I've always said it.
They'd recognize him.
Clark Kent should at least get facial hair, right?
Yeah.
At
Oh, that would
least.
be a bad idea, though.
No, a friendly beard, not a sleaze Tony.
But the problem
Tony
is
Stark.
in the Superman mythology, his hair is as strong as him, so literally there's no razor in the world that could shave a beard if he grew one.
Duh, he shaves because he looks himself in the mirror and with his
with the laser.
he bounces it off and singes all the all the hairs on his face.
Why didn't I think of that?
It's what I love about comic books is that it really explores scientific imagination. And a lot of times, a lot of these writers will do some incredible research to get into the science of like these powers and shit. But anyway,
right, and that's the best part of good sci-fi. You take a what if this was true? What if this particular technology existed? What would change? What would society be like? What would the implications be? And the technology that the what if is doesn't have to ever be possible. I mean, that's where the suspension of disbelief comes in. And good sci-fi, what it does is explores that faithfully, given that one leap of faith in the beginning.
That is exactly why I believe, and I always believe, that stories are important. They literally inspire us, to do more. And I think that
Absolutely.
there's a quote that I find so true, which is, artists tell lies to tell the truth, and politicians tell lies to hide the truth. But it mainly, even though these characters are fantastical and they have these powers or these situations that they seem out of this world, when you dig deeper and you find that usually within the personal connections and in the goals, you'll find not only will you find a sort of portrait of the culture that created it, whether it's Zeus for Greeks or Batman and Superman for Americans, you will not only find the tropes and aspects of that culture that created it, but you'll also get an insight, especially if it's classic and it's told over and over again by different authors. That's when you know that it's a real mythology. You find traces and revelations about the human condition, and through that, it's what makes us. I think it's really what holds sort of societies glue together. It's that we get shamed into being better people. Essentially, it's us escaping shame to try to look up to things that are better than us, and that's a good thing. There should be more of that, frankly. Back in the day, you'd have the old man at the shop or at the mechanic's garage or in the classroom and saying, this is what needs to be done. Back in my day, this this is how we did it, and that's how we'll always do it, or whatever. And then the kid will be like, yeah, shut up, old man. That's what it is now. It's just like, all right. Instead of like listening and either writing it down or at least just stopping and trying to analyze. At least now it's just like, yeah, you can't tell me what to do, and it's gonna rip everyone apart. Essentially, it's what's gonna idiocracy really is gonna happen.
Yeah, I sympathize with that, but it's not that simple. I mean, there's a reason that the young distrust the old so many times. They say things like, you got us into this war, you got us into this debt, you got us into this situation.
No, absolutely, and I definitely agree with the flight effect. That's what it's called, the Flynn effect.
Oh yeah, Flynn effect. That
The
people
Flynn
are getting
effect,
smarter.
that people get
higher
smarter,
IQs.
right? But it's still dwarves on the shoulders of giants, and even though especially the previous generation, in terms of, I think it's politicians. You can't judge an entire generation based on the representatives. That's insane. If anything, I've learned that much. But there's definitely an adaptability that is required of recent, like especially with the way the world just got a whole lot smaller with all this internet jazz, and it's only going to get faster. Not only is it going to get higher, but the roller coaster is going to get faster. But so all right, I wanted to show you and the listeners, in case they've never heard of it before, I want to show them this awesome word game. And
What kind of game?
it sounds dirtier than it actually is. Another reason why I love it. It's called Stinky Pinky.
Ooh.
I know. It feels curiously painful and yet curious. That's what it sounds like. Stinky Pinky. It's a word game where you basically think of two things that rhyme, and you give the synonyms for each of those two words to the other player. And so they have to sort of Venn diagram their brains into figuring out what do those synonyms have that rhyme with each other. So if I were to say smelly finger, Mike, you would say
Stinky Pinky.
exactly. So let's
Those are the original words you were thinking of, from which you generated your rhymes.
That is correct. As long as both parties agree on what rhymes.
Oh.
Okay? So
That's a tough one.
I mean, essentially no stretching. I mean, it's got to have the same amount of syllables.
No slant rhymes. Yeah. This isn't a
You know-
rap song.
I mean, no, it could use it definitely can use slang. You're almost supposed to use slang. It's actually, this game is a lot more fun when you play with dirty words.
Oh, I like slang, but I can't say like Bane and again. That's stupid. I'm not going to do that.
No, absolutely not. What end game?
Bane. Like our friend Bane from Batman.
Oh, Bane and gain does not rhyme. Absolutely not.
Bane and again.
But
again,
if,
it's ridiculous.
If I were to say I have a garbage skin allergy, you would say
Ooh. Dude.
garbage
Trash.
skin allergy.
Eczema.
What rhymes
No.
with trash and is
There's a
allergic
skin allergy.
skin?
Rash.
Oh, what? So if I got a garbage skin allergy, it would
You
be
got a trash rash.
I got a trash rash.
That sounds
Exactly.
like something else too. I like this.
Yeah, it's a fun game. All right, if I said okay, if I'm a cum devil.
Ooh, you're a semen demon.
I'm a semen demon. Nice, did you catch on strong? You got one for me?
Man, I don't have any good ones. If I'm a corpulent feline,
You're a fat cat.
that's right, I am.
That's good. That's
My
very
favorite
good.
kind.
And I love it too because fat cats are corporate, which sounds like corpulent. So it's you layered it really nicely without even
So many
trying.
layers. No,
And that's the beauty of the game. You really stretch out your muscles.
reminding
and,
my subconscious. It's sort of like Inception.
For the record, this game was invented by the
Christopher
great Psycho Mike and Dr. Drew, or at least I think Psycho Mike introduced it into the new. He's a new Loveline host to replace Adam Carolla, and he's actually really entertaining and he's really smart. He's life smart, So it's what you need to bounce off of to bounce off of Dr. Drew. But all right, so you got any other ones?
Ooh, this is a tough one, man. You're putting me on the spot. All right, it's no, I got this. It's a dumpster made of almond paste candy, Julian.
Marzipan trash can.
Fuck, how did you?
Dude, are you serious?
It's amazing.
Dude, that doesn't even, that's a stretch, dude. That doesn't even really rhyme.
It's one of the most delicious desserts known to humanity. I don't think you've ever had it, so you
Yeah,
probably wouldn't know. But
Yeah, okay. Well, white people love marzipan. That's
I know.
all I need to know.
usually put mayonnaise on it. It's amazing.
I like to wrap it in lettuce and eat it for lunch.
I'm sorry, officer. I look delicious this way.
I'm gonna drink some mineral water and really look down on your diamond consumption.
I like soccer. It's a great sport.
I like awareness. It makes a difference.
I'll walk to that, Jim.
Little celebratory walk. So, Okay, all right. Let me think of one last stinky pinky for you and the viewers to try to.
Oh man.
Because it's a matter of how it's a matter of how dirty you want to go with it.
Oh no.
Sidekick vagina.
Ooh, this is a tough one. Wait a minute, wussy pussy?
That's great. I meant sidekick the verb, not the noun. Just to give you a hint.
Verb.
But that's great. That's great Venn diagramization of your brain.
So what was the answer you were thinking?
Well, keep guessing.
All right. So it's a sidekick, like the verb, like the martial arts sidekick.
Remember, the verb is an action. The action of side kicking. Or kicking with your side, I guess. That's a total...
That's not what a sidekick is, Julian.
I know, that's a giveaway, but you're supposed to kind of... Whatever, that and vagina.
All right.
Come on.
Is this going to rhyme with hoochie?
No,
Is
it's
that where
not.
this is going?
All right, I'm going to give you the ultimate clue. I'm
Okay.
going to say, okay, American football kick vagina.
American football kick. Oh, cunt punt.
Punt cont.
I
Yes.
want to say it the other way because it makes more sense. Because you could actually do that.
A cunt
the way
punt?
I said it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, fine. A vaginal American football kick, then. I'll rephrase that.
Man, brilliant.
So good. It's such good pod. But yeah,
very
dude, it's been a long time coming. How long have we known each other?
I would venture to say several centuries.
Several centuries. I mean,
Yeah.
we had to have the quickening to have all the blood memories come back. But every time we meet each other, like it would come back to the Viking days. I would
Go
be
on.
like in conquistador armor, and like you would be like in Viking armor with like
Right. All made of aluminum foil, apparently. Based on the best angle we could get of it.
the recreation is a little more expensive than necessary. Anyway, so you have the battle axe and a huge mallet that you carry over your shoulders.
Yeah.
And I had my rapier saber or whatever it is the conquistadors fought with.
Mm-hmm.
And we look at each other and we think we're about to fight, but then we notice the glowing tattoos on our arms that only appear when we're close. And then we did like the Hercules clasp. You know what I'm talking
Good
about?
journey.
The good journey handshake. Exactly, where we grab each other's forearms. Yeah. And then we did it immediately, and then we powered up. And then the rocks started to gravitate. And then, we ended up...
That was amazing. I remember when that happened.
We became best friends after that. Then like the evil dragon Bucciarelli came in and started hissing and spitting acid, and had eight pairs of udders, dragon udders, which are gross. I don't know.
Have you read the Old Testament? It seems like you have, the way you're describing this.
I
There's
actually-
a feared ancestral memory of my people.
It's interesting. I actually minored in theology, and so I'm glad
Really?
you caught those references. Yeah, I did.
Your hair is divine.
Not as divine as thy grapes of wrath.
Ripe for the picking, Julian. Come pick them.
Well, I heard it down the grapevine, so
Ooh, what's going on?
we're quoting. We're going. It's called the quote off. That's where we only speak in titles and quotes. And
And you just lost.
when someone
Thank
you said what's going on, if you
Yeah.
you broke character, unless what's
I
going.
didn't break character. What's going on?
Oh,
song.
it's a song.
Yeah. Well, you have not. Come on, it's Marvin Gaye. Straightest man alive.
Oh man, straightest man alive. Oh, his daughter helped ruin the Matrix franchise.
She didn't cast herself.
No, but she looked in the mirror and said, "I can do it." Actually, she wasn't the worst.
She probably
part.
didn't.
She
Andrea
actually
Wachowski probably cast her, whatever he's now called.
is that the one who cross dresses?
Maybe it was the other one. No, he got a sex change.
Oh,
Now
wait.
he's not cross dressing anymore. Now he's correctly dressing.
Hold on a second. Are you serious? He got a sex change?
One of them did. Oh, maybe it was Larry, because I remember like Lana Wachowski or something like that being a name.
No, shut the fuck up. Are you serious?
Yeah. Google it. They really, they hate the limelight, so they never did interviews anyway. But yeah, this was all over.
That's fucking ridiculous. Are you serious?
Isn't that crazy? Look at that.
I'm your sister now, bro. What does the article say?
I'm just looking at the Google image search, but
Well, that's not very good pod. You want to?
All right, yeah.
You want to feed
I'll
the
read you
audience.
some stuff. I'm reading Wiki right now, which is, as you know, correct.
Of course, always.
And
It's always correct.
He's not. All right, he's not an attractive woman, but I've seen much worse on the internet. Much worse.
So it is in fact Larry Wachowski.
Yeah, Larry is now Lana.
Lana Wachowski. I thought that was someone's wife when I saw it in the credits. Of
That's him, dude.
what did they work on? Hold on. This can't be reality. And you're actually looking at a picture?
I'm looking at a picture. I'm looking at the Wikipedia.
Oh God, that's so funny because I know who. See, the thing is, I love to watch the making of.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right; it's a pretty smooth transition. I mean, she looks like someone's mom.
Yeah, I mean,
Someone's old
not
mom now.
as far as moms go. She's not an attractive mom, but
No, but she's not a hideously fat, ugly mom.
and
It's very funny. It's very funny how shit like this will just. My God. You know what?
it's okay.
If she's happy now, good for her.
God bless her. Yeah.
Good for her. But it's just bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre.
One of her many bad decisions, starting with The Matrix 2.
Which you can blame. Maybe that's why she got the sex change.
Mm-hmm. So she couldn't be implicated.
So she could escape when the people rise against and start beheading everyone at the guillotine.
I was
that
thinking
was
more
actually my brother. I think he's in Europe now.
But you're a woman. Kill her anyway. That was the flaw.
I was nowhere near the movies. No, she wasn't in the movie. Happy, just let her go. That's.
I'm thinking of
Shut up, old timer. Now, come on. She ain't hurting nobody. We don't take kindly to your taps. Yes. So good. We don't take kindly to your taps around here. It's so good.
I'm just thinking also how Johnny Cochran would defend her since she can't be the same person because she's now a woman.
It does not make sense. It does not make sense.
The condom does not fit.
How is it that a woman is going to be accused for another man's crime? I mean, it's like if an Ewok were to commit murder and then Chewbacca were to be implied. It does not make sense. What? It did not make sense. Why would Chewbacca, a 7-foot Wookiee, live in Endor, Endor's third moon? I think he actually got correct that it's Endor's third moon.
That makes perfect sense.
I'm not sure though. I might be wrong that they got it right. They actually might have gotten it wrong and called Endor a planet. But just for all you people out there, know that I know that it's Endor's third moon. It's extremely important that everyone out there listening right now knows that I know the truth. But anyway,
well done.
Yes, I think it's about that time where we got to call it a night. But did you ever get my stinky pinky? Did I ever tell you one?
Please explain.
Oh yeah, no, it was a cunt punt. Yeah, you got it. No, just momentary senior moment.
I got it. I felt it too when I figured it out. I had an empathy shock in my nether area.
Yeah, you only needed like all your lifelines to get it. But anyway, thank you so much for coming, dude. I love your balls very much. You are absolutely my I was gonna say my blood riders, right? Like Daenerys, she has blood riders.
Brilliant.
You're one of my blood riders. So
this has been a complete honor, and thank you for having me, my friend.
Absolutely, thank you so much. And I want to take this time to also thank Skype, Audacity, and Sony Vegas for allowing this to even be possible right now. I got a voice, for God's sakes. This is incredible. God willing, I can have a presence online now. Theoretically, it's just long. Now it's up to the content. So the gauntlet's been thrown, and I'm trying to pick it up, but I'm really sore. So we'll see what comes of it. Either way, thank you for taking time to listen. Please, please, please go ahead and like the Turns Out Productions page on Facebook. And yes, there will be an official website. But until then, please check me out on Facebook. Comment, tell me what you think. Listen to the podcast. And until next time, thank you for listening. Hold fast and stay sharp.